It's my niece. Hold on. Hello! I'm filming for my YouTube channel.
Are you making the one about superheroes?
I am making the one about superheroes. Do you want to be in my YouTube video?
Yeah.
Okay, on 3, say hi, YouTube. Alright, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, YouTube.
Great job. Do you want to say hi, YouTube, and I'll put it in my video?
Hi, YouTube.
Guys, we did it. Colorful supersuits are so back. The saturation dial has finally been taken back from the angsty, grimdark addicts of the 2000s and the early 2010s. And we are moving into the light and giving our superheroes the kooky colors that they deserve. Seeing both the new Superman and the Fantastic Four movies this past month has been the cherry on top of the recent rise of colorful supersuits in film. But to understand how we got to this point, I want to take a step back and look at how and why comic book colors have made their way in and out and back in to movie adaptations of supersuits. To understand where superhero movies are drawing their inspiration from, we need to turn to comic books, specifically the colors and why they were used. One explanation for bright colors being a popular choice for early heroes is the post-World War II era. As these heroes continued to rise in popularity in the post-war era, the preference for bright colors is also on the rise. Whether it be clothes, cars, or comics, a vibrant approach was absolutely the way to go. Another possible reason to draw superheroes in specific bright colors could just be symbolism. The strongest colors are often considered the primaries: red, yellow, and blue. Each of these is associated with different attributes. Usually red means bold, passionate, determined. Blue can mean wise, confident, and trustworthy, and yellow is often associated with joyfulness and energetic and safe vibes. The most common combinations that we see on comic book heroes are 2 primaries with a 3rd accent color. Red and blue are colors we see worn by characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, Thor, Spider-Man, and Captain America. The first 3 of these heroes are accented with yellow, completing the primary trio and all its associative traits. The latter 2 are accented with white, which is a color commonly used to convey innocence and purity. Another common primary combo is red and yellow, as we see with heroes like Iron Man, Flash, Shazam, and Robin. Shazam, like Spidey and Cap, is accented with white. Robin is accented with green, which is a color that can communicate someone's rookie status. The last and least seen primary combo is that of blue and yellow, but we do see it on characters like the X-Men, Dr. Fate, and Nova. So, yeah, color symbolism is a great reason for superheroes looking like they do, but if you're not into that and we're looking for a more practical reason for colorful comic books, you're in luck. Because the answer can be found right there on the page. Of course, I am talking about the method of printing that was used. I didn't actually think I was going to be able to talk this much about comic books for this video, since I'm not a regular consumer of them, but I did work in a printing shop for 3 years. So I started looking into the printing process of older comic books, and I realized that I know exactly how comic colors work and why bright primary colors were used. It's all about how printers make colors on a page. In cameras, phones, TVs, and computers, they use something known as an additive color model. This color model starts in black and ends at white. RGB, or red, green, blue light, is added to black to produce a visible spectrum of color. The more you add, the lighter it gets until the screen is white. Printers work in the opposite direction. They use something that's called a subtractive color model. This is the same color model that applies to things like painting and screen printing. It starts at white and ends at black. The subtractive colors are cyan, yellow, magenta, and black, also known as CMYK. The K is black. In theory, adding equal amounts of yellow, cyan, and magenta will produce black, but in reality, the result is often a very muddy, dark brown. So to produce a true black pigment is added. The K represents black as a key color. Subtractive color begins with white paper and ends with black. As color is added, the result becomes darker. The color's added in what's called tints. A tint is a layer of tiny dots appearing as one color. The overlapping layers of dots can create the illusion of the full spectrum of color. Think of it like pointillism in painting. These dots are called Ben-Day dots and are what create that classic comic book texture that you may think of when you think of older comic book illustrations. All this printer-themed ranting comes to my main point, which is that superheroes wear bright primary colors because they are easy to print. Producing those colors with a printer requires little to no adjustment and can be done on less advanced printers at a fast pace. So we can say that heroes are dressed like stoplights and Crayola boxes for symbolism and character reasons, and we can also say that it was a convenient no-brainer for the printing process. Either way, we end up with the same result: vibrant supersuits that can inspire movie makers. And inspire them they did. 20th century superhero films did, for the most part, stay true to the comic styles and colors. Christopher Reeve's Superman is a particular favorite amongst fans. Superhero movies were meant to appeal to the same audience who had been enjoying those classic comic books, so no drastic style differences were needed. The first hints that we get of darker costumes comes, unsurprisingly, from Batman in the late 80s and the 90s. Of all the superheroes to have go dark, though, I think that Batman is the most easily excusable. Definitely giving a pass to Gotham's leading drama queen. The grim dark cloud that hung over the coming decades, though, is not so easy to brush off. From the mid-2000s into the mid-2010s, supersuits all seem to pull a reverse Wizard of Oz when it comes to color. I hope that the two people that joke was for enjoyed it. As for the rest of you, I am just crossing my fingers, hoping that y'all have seen The Wizard of Oz. This is, of course, not an inaccurate move in terms of comic book inspiration, as many art styles, storylines, and characters had taken on darker and darker themes by this point. However, I take issue when it stops feeling like heroes and stories. Realism is not something that superhero films should aspire to. The entire point is to suspend your disbelief and enjoy a story that could never happen in real life. So why do we need every single element of supersuits to make sense? Practicality is a trend that we see all throughout the grimdark era, with plenty of armor and mechanics on suits that arguably don't need it. Why does the Flash need armor? Have you tried running in armor? It seems like it'd suck. Why does Havoc need a satellite dish on his chest? Can't we just say that the front panel of his suit is made from a fine heat-cooperative mesh that allows the beam through? Please? Okay, well, if you're not going to do that, then can you at least take the gray filter off that has been put over top of every other one of these movies? I feel like I'm watching these films through cheap sunglasses, and it makes the color palettes of the suits match what you'd see on the shelves of a Hot Topic. For years, we were subjected to the cool kids only versions of these supersuits. But have no fear, because even during the angstiest grimdark times, there were some promising outliers. On the DC side of things, Wonder Woman, though suffering from Snyder sunglasses syndrome, did deliver a red, blue, and gold suit that did not disappoint. On the Marvel side of things, movies like Iron Man and Captain America: The First Avenger were sporting some promising, vivid looks. They served as a jumping-off point back into the world of colorful superheroes. From the latter 2010s to the present day, we've been seeing more and more examples of colorful, logic-defying supersuits. A balance of practicality and comic book accuracy is being found as well, like what we saw with Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad, as well as the suits in Ant-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming. However, we also have been seeing brighter colors like in Birds of Prey, as well as more impractical elements like Hela's entire bodysuit and helmet look in Thor Ragnarok. And in the most recent superhero films, these super suits' freak flags are flying everywhere. Try saying that 5 times fast. You will fail. Peacemaker's helmet in the Suicide Squad, a neon yellow Wolverine, Superman's red trunks, and most recently the Fantastic Four's retro-futurist turtlenecks. I'm pleased to say that color once again reigns supreme. Like post-war America, we're tired of endless seas of gray and want to exercise our ability to create with color. Superhero films had their childhood years of innocent mimicry, their teen years of angst and despair, and are now taking their first steps into adulthood with a hopeful outlook. Speaking from experience here. So, now you know why supersuits are colorful, and I hope I've convinced you that they should be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you'd like to see me talk more about superheroes and fantasy, be sure to visit my channel, where you can also find videos of me designing and making my own costumes. If your attention span is not feeling up to more YouTube, be sure to check out my Instagram and TikTok. And if you're interested in some behind-the-scenes photos and updates, be sure to visit my Patreon and consider supporting the channel. I hope you have a good day or night, or whenever you happen to be watching this, and bye!
Okay, bye.
Oh, and hung up on me. Yellow, It's so hot in here, oh my gosh. Try some fun layering in the outfit, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I'm sweating through all of this. Who is texting me? What? If I had a nickel for every time one of my joints hurt, I would never have to work again. The vibe was supposed to be like, oh, I'm revealing, like, oh, my super suit is underneath my clothes. But instead, I think I've just gone for, like, fabulous house painter. You know?